Welcome back to a really special Ty and That Guy. I'm John Wesley Chatham, and this is my good buddy, sometimes a lover, sometimes hugger, Timothy Franck. Say hello, Ty.
Hello, Ty.
So in honor of our 100th episode, we're going to get to hang out with our Patreon members and answer some questions. And hopefully we'll keep it PG, right, kiddies? But I can get a little naughty if you want to get naughty.
Does it have to be PG?
Oh, I was kidding.
Okay.
No. I was saying we can get dirty if we can get dirty.
All right, nice.
Nobody else is going to see this. It's just us and these 37 people here.
So let's get things kicked off with a question for Ty. Merlin asks, are there characters from the book that couldn't make it into the show for any number of reasons that you wish could have? If so, which ones would they be?
I wish the Amos from the books had actually been in the show instead of this like light beer version of Amos that we wound up getting.
The poor man's version of Amos.
Poor man's. No, obviously there's always like tons of characters.
You know what the Amos I was? Do you remember like watching Dukes of Hazzard when you were a kid? And then there was like some contract fallout, and then their cousins came, and they were
that's
like,
right, I remember that.
Yeah, and they were like lesser versions of the real characters. They were like identical but lesser versions, and they
it wasn't Bo and Luke anymore.
It wasn't
like
Bo.
It was
Luke.
It was like Fred and Duke.
Yeah, Fred and Slook, and they and it was like the weakest season, and then they worked the contracts, and all of a sudden the cousins were gone, and then they had Bo and Luke back. Yeah, I'm the Slook of the Amoses.
Yeah. No, but I mean, obviously there's always characters that are in the books that can't make it into the show. But I mean, so the nice thing about writing a book is my casting budget is unlimited. I discovered in TV your casting budget is not unlimited. So I'm okay with the changes we had to make. You know, I mean,
Ty's first meeting was like, I think we need Tom Cruise for Captain Holden. And they're like, Ty, we're going to have to teach you a little things about budgets, okay?
I'm like, I want Tom Cruise, Bruce Willis, and Christopher Walken.
And Swayze.
And I
will not compromise.
Swayze's dead, but I want a machine to clone him back to life because I got a role for him.
Swayze wasn't dead season 1.
He wasn't?
No. Look, I'm crazy for Swayze. I know all about Swayze. Johnny Castle, baby. Who knows what character Johnny Castle is and what movie that was?
Yeah. Well, Amber said Roadhouse.
No.
Is it Roadhouse?
That's
no,
Dalton.
It's definitely not Roadhouse.
Next question for both of you. Choggle asks, what are your favorite, most beloved books? I mean, this has got to be top.
Of all time?
I think I have mine.
Two of my favorite books of all time, Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There. I reread those all the time. My wife got me, because she loves me and she's amazing. When she was in England, she went to a rare bookshop and she got me an original print of Alice in Wonderland and an original print of Through the Looking Glass with the original wood carving illustrations in them. And they are two of my most prized possessions. I love those books. So, yeah, I mean, other books come and go. My favorite fantasy novel of all time is a book by John M. Ford called The Dragon Waiting. What my favorite sci-fi novel is changes. It's often something by Joel Haldeman. But yeah, the two books that never, ever, ever go out of style for me are Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass.
This is a big question, and there's no genres attached to this question. If I had to say my favorite book of all time, I'd probably have to say Pat Conroy, The Great Santini. Like if I had to say like a book that just really moved me. And the thing is like, wait, we have to wait for Ty. We can't pause because people are listening.
No, but was Johnny Castle from Dirty Dancing?
Yeah.
Jumbo right. Is correct. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Yeah, if I had, I mean, this is a great question. And I books are books are my favorite thing.
You have to burn all of them and keep one. What is it going to be?
It would be a toss between. So Stephen King will probably have 3 on that list. It'll be a toss between The Shining, The Stand, and a book that I absolutely love that I read a lot, but it's not like known as one of his great books, but it's a beautiful father and daughter story, is the Firestarter. Love that book. If I had to,
Hopefully you guys all heard me peeing.
no, I'm still on the. I'm still rattling off my books. This is a tough question, and I wish that she was specific about genre. So I went through, and actually,
You're a Lonesome Dove guy too, right?
I love Lonesome Dove. Yeah, Larry McMurtry. Yeah. Like, are we talking about westerns? I love Lonesome Dove and Larry McMurtry. The Horseman Passes By. Like, I love Larry McMurtry, and this was, I think this might have been his first novel. And it's the story. Like, they made a movie on it called HUD. In this movie, the family, the way of life in Texas, like this book just gripped me. And what I love about Lonesome Dove is I love the 2 main characters, and they make me laugh. Like, the things that they say. They're like, I'd like to shoot an educated man just once in my life. Or when he was arguing about his legs, he's like, "What?" He goes, "You don't need that leg, God damn it!" He says, "Well, I want to kick a pig every now and then." And like, it's just genius. So I'll keep rattling them off as I go. But when you say favorites are strong words, because there's a lot of things that pop up in my head, and I'm like, I don't know if I would say that's a favorite, because favorite depends on what day you ask me. But if I had to, like, say, bury me with this book, it would probably be The Great Santini. I love that book.
All right. Ty, Ozzy asks, was
Ozzy Osbourne?
I maybe.
Dude, I love your work, man.
Ozzy was wondering, was the eye organism on Illis a descendant of the builders, or was it just a happenstance of evolution?
It's just a little creature that lives on Illis. Not everything has to be protomolecule. Some stuff is just stuff.
Wes, Jerry asks, what was the funniest thing a fan ever gave you?
Clap.
That wasn't funny. That shit hurt.
It was funny to me.
Yeah. The funniest thing a fan ever gave me.
Penicillin, one of the fans says.
I don't know if I should admit this.
You're about to say the clap, aren't you?
No.
Okay.
I was at a hotel one time, and I shouldn't admit this. All right, let me think.
I was at a hotel one time is a story. That's the beginning of a story that ends with, and then I had to go get penicillin.
No, it wasn't anything sexual. I would just say this. It was something connected to the Hunger Games, and I did not know. The knowledge of the fan far exceeded my knowledge of what the Hunger Games was. All right. So I'll tell you one of my favorite things. Can I tell you one of my favorite things that a fan gave me?
Yeah.
It's this.
I don't have mine right here, or I would hold mine up too, but that thing is pretty great.
This makes me so happy. I think it's so funny. Like, little Ty over there, is fucking great. Actually, what's going on with Legos right now? Is it like super popular? Because actually, when you talk about something cool a fan gave me, check this out.
Nice. That is very cool. Yeah, that's very cool.
Those were given to me as well by a fan. He's actually a friend of mine, but he's a big fan of me. I know he is.
Ty and West. Susan asks, you guys have been doing a wonderful job on breaking down The Last of Us. What are your thoughts about Station 11? The showrunner doesn't seem to be taking the same risks that are being taken in The Last of Us, but it still seems enjoyable.
I haven't seen Station 11.
I have to admit, I don't watch Station 11.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So,
is it something we should be watching?
I think it's on one of the HBO things. I started it, the first episode, and I just sort of fell out of it very quickly. So, for whatever reason, it just didn't grab me. That's not saying that it's a bad show. Lots of things that are very good just don't grab me for whatever reason. So, I'm not making a critical comment about the show itself.
Ty, were you? While he's looking for the next question, I'm just curious. Were you a bigger fan of the Doctor Sleep or The Shining, the books, the novels?
Well, I think The Shining is the better book. So I think The Shining is amazing for all of the reasons that the movie The Shining is amazing because it's Stanley Kubrick being just a ridiculous director, right? I mean, he's just a fucking god. I think as an interesting adaptation, I think Dr. Sleep is a more interesting adaptation of a book.
Right.
Somehow those guys figured out a way to adapt the book and still have it tie into the movie universe seamlessly.
Yeah.
That was a masterful job of adaptation.
The way I would say it is this. Okay, so, and I just recently read the novel The Shining. I mean, Stephen King was firing all cylinders with that book. I mean, it's really good. Yeah. But I think Kubrick was probably not a huge Stephen King fan, and I don't think he respected him very much. And I think he went and took the spirit of that and made the movie he wanted to make.
He made his own movie. Yeah.
He made his own movie. So The Shining is a fucking masterpiece, but it's a Kubrick movie. It's not an adaptation. It's not an adaptation.
Yeah.
Then you look at Dr. Sleep, and what really attracted me to Dr. Sleep is this guy is a massive Stephen King fan. He loves Stephen King. He loves his material. So the movie Dr. Sleep and the adaptation Dr. Sleep was like really in line with Stephen King's heart and story intentions. And he was able
somehow still tied into the Kubrick movie.
And somehow still made it faithful to the Kubrick movie.
And
amazing.
You can put Rose the Hat in every movie forever.
And I will be fine with that. Well, there's two people, Rose the Hat and who's the other person, Ty? Monica
I don't
Bellucci.
know. Whenever Rose the Hat was in a movie, that's the only person I know
Rose
about.
the Hat, Monica Bellucci, you put them in the movie. I will be there with popcorn opening day.
If you put Rose the Hat and Monica Bellucci in a movie where all they did was sit in two separate chairs and read the newspaper to each other, that's fucking pornography. That's pornography.
Well, Ty, Waimoku has had 30 years of background in hypersonics and astrodynamics. Asks, how did you come up with the balance, and did you work with experts to ensure everything was plausible in the Expanse, but not bogged down in details?
Any question of engineering or physics or anything like that came straight through me. I handled all of that.
Yeah, well, Daniel and I go to Wes first, and we ask him about the science. And we don't understand his answer because he's too high level for us.
Yeah.
So we just make shit up. No, I mean, Daniel and I have always only aimed for what we call Wikipedia level plausibility. Yeah, we're trust me, we are not sitting with a panel of experts and running every design decision past them to see if it's plausible enough. Some sci-fi really, really wants that level of realism and plausibility, and I think that's awesome, and I'm not opposed to that. It's not the project that I was on. It's not the thing I was trying to do.
Alrighty, this one's a easy question for Wes. David wants to know, has there been any hairstyle or look that you had that you decided to keep afterwards? And why is it the porn stash? Which I was very disappointed you shaved before we could.
Did I wear a stash?
You had a porn stash in some Instagram photos, and I told Jen, don't you fucking let him shave that. I want an episode with the porn stash.
What character was that?
I don't know. You came back from some shoot and you had some porn stash.
Wait, I did that for Christmas though, right? That was for Christmas?
Yeah, I think it was around Christmas when you had it.
What was that?
Because I remember you having the porn stash and the ugly sweater at the same time.
Yes. Yeah, it was like Magnum PI.
Well, I will say this. To answer this question, I do not like shopping for clothes. My wardrobe is from all the characters that I played. So when I show up and they fit me and then I go do the thing, those clothes go home with me. They go home with me because then I don't have to go shopping. And I know they're my sizes.
That's really smart.
Yeah. And
that's
then
really smart.
And they know my sizes. So sometimes, like, there are a lot of times where I'll be wearing, I have anything here, but like I'll be wearing Look, hold on. Wait, I'll be right back.
As soon as he left, we lost 2 audience members. They were like, Wes left. Fuck it, I'm out.
So this is one of my favorite jackets when it gets cold, and I'll wear it, and there will be people out in town that goes, "Are you Amos from?" And they go, "Isn't that the jacket from season 5?" Because I wore this jacket all season, and it kept me so warm. And I was like, "This jacket's fucking coming home with me." And Joanne was like, so wonderful. And so yeah, so I kind of adopt everything on every role I'm playing.
Speaking of which, if Lindsay Walker is still in the audience, she'll be happy to know that I still have the leg warmer she gave me when we were on set.
Leg warmer?
Is Lindsay Walker hanging out?
No, she's not actually here. No, she was, when I posted about the AMA on Twitter, she responded with that. She wanted to know if Wes was still sporting the silk. Speaking of little things in life, Ty, David asks, why are there no radiators in the Expanse? In the context of heating and cooling. I thought it was a weird question, so...
because they make spaceships look goofy.
Ty, we got another one from, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Varun. And I was interested about this. You might have touched it in an episode. Why was Jonathan Banks cast for just one scene in the Canterbury's XO pilot episode? I assume it was just a relationship that you were able to get him for that little part.
I mean, he's friends with Terry McDonough. Yeah, Terry McDonough was the pilot director, and we needed that character, and we hadn't cast it yet. And Terry said, "Hey, let me call my buddy Johnny and see if he wants to do it." And so Terry called John, and John was like, "Sure, I'll pop up to Toronto for a day and shoot this scene." And yeah, Terry has directed a lot of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, so he knew all of those guys. I actually went and hung out with Terry on set on Better Call Saul when they were shooting season 1 of that show. So yeah, and got to see Jonathan Banks again and meet all the Better Call Saul cast and stuff. It was cool.
Alrighty, Wes Isam asks, recently you've talked about imposter syndrome you've experienced in acting class due to your background. As a small town redneck turned white collar programmer, this resonated with me. No, he's talking about himself. How did this affect you, and how did you overcome it? Because even when we had Ron Perlman on, he talked about imposter syndrome and stuff like that.
The way you overcome it is you realize that is it is a common thread in most everybody in everybody's life. And it's just a part of human nature. And so if you grew up obsessed with something and you were a massive fan of something, like looking at something from afar, and then you find yourself being able to be a part of that thing, it will feel a bit surreal. And then there's moments where you're like, I don't really feel like I belong here, And I've never felt like I belonged here. I never feel like I belonged anywhere. And what I've done is just accepted the fact that I don't feel like I belong there. And that's what everybody feels like. And then I'm just very, I just feel lucky, and I'm just happy to be doing it.
Ty, did you ever have imposter syndrome?
No.
I didn't think so.
I know I'm awesome. I'm just waiting for the rest of you to catch on.
Ty, Gigi asks, did Kim Stanley Robinson's work, the Mars Trilogy, have any impact or influence on how you approached writing the Expanse series? Not just the politics or science, but also structure and character development.
Not for me. Now, so Daniel and I know Stan, and I love him as a human being. He's amazing, and he's one of the best writers in sci-fi, so I am not ever going to take any credit away from that guy for anything. So this is not a criticism. I never read the Mars series. Daniel has read the Mars series. So if that reading the Mars series influenced him, you'd have to ask him that question. We've never directly talked about it, but it's possible that it did, and we just didn't talk about it. And it wasn't because I didn't want to read the Mars series or I was opposed to it or I didn't like it or whatever. It just, there's so many books that come out every year, and that just wasn't one of the ones that made it onto my reading pile that year. But having said that, everybody should go read Stan Robinson's stuff because he's great.
Ty and Wes, this question made me smile. Matt asks, what's your dream adaptation of the last 3 Expanse novels? And why is it a Broadway burlesque musical? And why does Wes write it and Ty performs it as a one-man show?
Yeah. You know what? What we should always do is get people out of their comfort zone and make them do things that they're not good at. Wes can write, that's fine, but I am not an actor. I'm not a performer.
Oh, dude, when we do the Ty and That Guy horror movie, Ty is going to be on, like, he's going to be doing some
100%.
acting. Yeah, and it's going to make him very uncomfortable.
I am not an actor.
I still say Ty is going to be the uncle visiting the Wes's kids. With
I don't want to be the creepy
Ouija
uncle.
board's going to be involved in this.
I don't want to be the creepy uncle, but I'm fine being Ouija board uncle. That's fine.
Wes, Sarah asks, you can Henry Cavill the shit out of something. Pick a property they're making currently, movie or TV show, and what would it be?
You're no Henry Cavill. I'm sorry.
I'm a poor man's Amos in a no way Henry Cavill. Well, what, like, understand, like, what does that mean, Henry Cavill something? Like Superman, like the Witcher?
Some property, yeah, The Witcher, like that, where you can
Is
see
there
yourself
some property
as a
out there?
lead.
Well, I think that Between Two Fires would be a compelling series.
I agree with you, and I wanted to do it, and our third possible partner with poo-pooed all over it, and I think we need to fire him and get new partners.
Exactly. Who was that?
Clint.
Oh.
Well,
Clint is the
cares?
worst.
Who cares about Clint?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, we can't let Clint kill anything. Listen, this is one of my favorite questions, and I've asked Ty this many times, but I'm asking him again. You know, so that movie, Let It Be, the Beatles movie, where he wakes up one day and the Beatles don't exist in the universe, and then he writes all the Beatles songs. So Ty, given the climate, the pitching climate, and what everything is right now, if you could wake up tomorrow and make sure one intellectual property doesn't exist, whether that be Alien or Terminator or anything that in your wildest imagination, or even a book, and then you wake up tomorrow and that doesn't exist, and then you can make it the way you wanted to make it, and you feel like this is the right market, what would be that thing?
Can I make something exist and then not make it? Or make something not exist and then not make it? Can I get something out of the world? Can I subtract? Can I make the world a better place by subtracting from it?
Yeah, you can. You absolutely can.
I think Twilight fucked up the world, and if I could make Twilight not exist, I would do that.
So mine for a lot of years was Firestarter. It's such a strong movie, and it's such a powerful relationship about a father and daughter, and the strength of this little girl and what she grows up to be. And so I always was like, man, we should do this again. We should try this again.
You saw the terrible remake, right?
I have not seen the remake, but I'm so pissed off. I'm so pissed off at the remake because, Ty, I don't know if you remember, but I was, pitching this to you and Dan years ago at a bar, like drinking. I'm like, this would be a great fucking movie to do right now. And they did. Yeah. I didn't see it, but was it just unwatchable?
It was pretty bad.
Okay.
It was pretty bad. Yeah. Unfortunately. I really wanted it to be good, and it just was not good.
Was it?
No.
This will be the last question for both of you. Sarah asks, is there a top 5 you wish you'd done? As a follow-up, what are your top 5 of the top 5?
I don't remember any of the top 5s.
Can we just say it's like every time that I don't have the top 5 ready? Is that it?
I think that's a good question, though.
Or episode. I almost wanted to know what would be our top 5 episodes.
The best thing we ever did, number 1 on the top 5, if you're talking about us, is Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
That is a riveting 2 hours. It's a 2-hour conversation with Ron Perlman. It is fucking riveting through the entire thing. His stories about Marlon Brando in Island of Dr. Moreau had me laughing so hard that my stomach hurt.
when Brando had no idea that he was blind. At the end of the movie, he goes, "Are you fucking blind?"
That's a good idea.
That's fucking brilliant. He's like, I've been blind.
He just thought he was an idiot.
Yeah, he just thought he was a fucking idiot. He thought it was a thing. I will say my favorite top 5 It's a tie. My favorite top 5 is I love when we did it once, but I could do it every single time because I love doing my top 5 favorite Twilight Zones. And I love doing the top 5 Stephen King. Like the Stephen King series is like, I get happy when I'm like getting ready to do the podcast. I love that. Great. But I enjoy like that. That's a fun, like, fun top 5s. And one day we should do to be more self-congratulating and more conceited, we should do our top 5 best episodes. Like the best things that we ever done.
A lot of patrons have spoken, and they say that they loved the Boomer episode. The Boomer episode was pretty ridiculous.
We got to get Boomer back.
They say the Breck one, Jess was great. Jess, like her energy, she was so much fun.
No, I love
Jess
this. I love
really
hearing.
Cool.
I love hearing what they liked or what they respond to. Jess was a great one. Boomer was a great one. They said
we'll
get
Clinton,
all these people
Lorraine,
back.
Of course. Well, I think next time we do this, we'll try to maybe let some of the patrons on to ask the questions.
That would be awesome to have them come on and ask the questions. Can you do that now? We'll let we'll let somebody come on and ask the last question.
Alrighty.
When Ozzy showed up.
Sheehan. Sorry.
Sheehan.
Sheehan.
What's up, Sheehan?
No, you're Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheehan.
No, not close.
Oh, and he's got his tested shirt. Nice.
What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
That's
pretty
a
great.
gamer's seat right there. He knows his business.
Yeah, it's not comfortable.
How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. I mean, this is awesome, guys. Getting a behind-the-scenes look at like favorite people.
Yeah. All right, do it, man. Do your question.
All right. So, Ty, this is for you. The thing we see above Laconia, is that accurate to your vision of that thing from the book? I don't want to spoil it.
Honestly, I never had a particularly strong image of what that was. Like, we kept it vague deliberately because the problem is you say something is weird and incomprehensibly alien, and then you try to describe it, and it stops being weird and incomprehensibly alien.
Of course.
So we kind of left it weird and incomprehensibly alien and left it at that. What they actually made, I think, is really cool. I love the look of it. Is it exactly what I may have pictured in my head? Probably not, but I think it's really cool. And if we ever get to do the last 3 books and that thing rolls out of the dock, I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
I mean, you guys hint a little bit right at during the credits, the terrifying scene.
Yeah.
But
that's a good question, Ty. Like when there are things that you envision in your head, like how many times you're like, oh wow, that's better than what I thought, and how many times you're like,
lots of times.
I
lots of times.
and
I've said this before.
Yeah.
I've said this before in interviews that like the great thing about working on an adaptation like a TV show is I'm not a costume designer. I'm not a construction guy. I'm not a set designer. I'm not a visual effects artist. And we bring people in who are incredibly talented, and then they take whatever shitty thing I described in the book, and they make an amazing real thing.
Yeah.
People are like, were you disappointed? I'm like, no, it's amazing. Yeah. Look at this thing that they built. Like
the first time he
so
was
much
disappointed
better than what I would have done.
The first time he was truly disappointed is when he met Amos for the first time.
Yeah. Well,
But then he fell in love. Where in the world are you, Sheehan?
I am in New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey.
That great place.
Yeah. What part of New Jersey?
Northern. It's called Summit.
Okay, Summit.
Yeah.
Well, I have friends who are from New Jersey, but they're the Bayonne area, so that's the only area I know.
Yeah, I've been getting as many people as I can to watch The Expanse. I have had a few converts. I teach physics. I tell all my students, watch this.
Did you start out with the books?
I started with the show until season 4, then read the books, then watched the rest of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Speaking of books, Wes, there was one question. Have you read the last 3 books yet?
No,
he definitely has not.
No. I haven't read them because, like, now if I read the books and get pumped about them, and it's like, fuck, we're not doing that. Yeah, you're not gonna make it, and then it's like, no, I haven't. Why? Did I do some crazy shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty great.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on, Sheehan.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
Oh, there it is.
Nice.
Very
Is
nice.
that the Kickstarter?
That's not the Kickstarter one. This is the Eagle Moss one. And
Oh,
the company,
that's Eagle
yeah.
How is
that-
it? Is it worth it?
It's great. I just said that it's missing the little landing things.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
the legs. Maybe I'll make the legs.
Sweet. All righty.
All right. Thanks,
We're
man.
going to get out of here.
Hey, thanks, Sheehan. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Goodbye, Sheehan. Thank you, man.
Thanks. Thank God
That
we
was
got
awesome.
rid of that guy. Lording his tested shirt over us. You know, I
will
fucking
say-
know Adam Savage personally, and I don't have a tested shirt. What's up with that?
I will say pretty much everybody that I've ever met that's a big fan of the Expanse, I've always liked right away. And I like
Yeah.
Sheehan. Good guy. Say goodbye, Ty.
Goodbye, Ty.
Welcome back to Ty and That Guy.
Let's go to work then. Let's go to work.
Welcome back to Ty and That Guy.
Let's go to work then. Let's go to work. Let's go to work then. Let's go to work. Goodbye, Ty. Goodbye, Ty.